Already got one going. Look at this. Do I look sick? This is the only thing I want to say right now. Everybody's telling us what we gotta do to be healthy, what we've gotta do to be fit. They're trying to take all the people that are naturally overweight, who store their energy better than we do. And they're trying to get them to get looking like we do. Why would they want big people starting to look like we do? It's just an attack on them. It's just an attack on them. They are showing us right here in everyday life that they are the people that will take us to the next level. Because when the drought and the starvation and the famine, such things show up, they're gonna, well, they might not be able to help with the drought. They might, though. They've got enough water soluble. They support their system. But in a famine, they can absorb any kind of energy they can get into them, and they store it naturally in a way. They're gonna keep us going on. You take a skinny guy like me, well, I might be a freak. You're a freak, Judas, you're a freak. No, I think, no, you're a freak, Judas, you're a freak. Well, no, if you look at it this way, you're a freak, Judas, you're a freak. Some woman screaming at me and me saying, well, maybe you're right. And she's like, ah! It makes her even angrier. Sometimes you just can't make people happy. But I sit on the table. When I got a physical 2-3 years ago, I said, well, they've been offering it all these years, I might as well take it. I'm sitting on the table in my underwear and my socks. I didn't want to show them that I just had a pedicure. My feet were beautiful. They charged me double. The woman said, oh, your feet terrible. I charge you double. Because I took Victoria and the step Danny in for a pedicure, and I said, I might as well sit with him. And she said, I charge you double. And I thought, she's just kidding, right? No, she did charge me double. And she never even got to my fingers. Angry people when they have to do their job. But see, so I'm sitting on the table with my socks on and my underwear. But for some reason, they needed me naked after and I'm sitting there and I know I've told this story, but this is a true story. And it needs to be a reminder to those of you who think I have to follow some sort of system. Yeah, yours. What works for you? Because we act like we found something and everybody has to follow it. There's some of us who are outliers that we can, look at me, I'm in my 50s. I mean, God, I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm not so limber anymore. But I just want you to know, whatever works for you. And I found that it was better for me to be light. I like to move freely. I'm close to levitating, remember? But this doctor, he walks in and looks at me sitting there. I'm like, I'm in my underwear and my socks in a public place. That kind of dress in an alley could not allow you to say I was raped. Sitting in a doctor's office makes it even less likely. They said, well, he wanted it, Judge, honest, Judge, he wanted it. You told me to take my clothes off. Your nurse told you. You got somebody telling you what the doctor wants. Get out of your fucking clothes. How the car along there? And he looks at me and he says, and he looks at my biometrics that they took outside. And I'm just, and he says, he looked surprised and he says, and without me saying, you see? He says, other people would call you skinny. He says, but you're exactly where you need to be. And I said, yeah. And he says, do you drink? And I told him how much I drink a day. And he says, and he's looking at me. Sitting there looking like an individual. And he says, normally I'd say that's a lot, but you seem to be doing all right. And I said, And he says, do you smoke? And I told him how much I smoke a day. And he says, repeat. Normally they would say that's a lot, but you seem to be doing all right. And I said to myself, I think I found a good doctor. This guy doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He's looking at the results of years of studies, and he's looking at me, and he's not just trying to force years of studies on me, because we are all outliers. We have to find what works for us. And if you can find what works for you physically, there's a pretty good chance you can find what works for you mentally. And if you can find what works for you mentally, there's a pretty good chance you can find what works for you politically. And if you can find what works for you politically, you can find what works for you physically.